as you drop the ball into the wheel, it tends to ping about and it will bounce about.
If you were asked to rate your gambling skills on a scale of 1 to 10, what would it be? A lot of people may consider themselves high rollers in the gambling industry and step into the casino with a lot of confidence. However, the moment you walk through those fancy doors, the odds are immediately stacked against you. No matter how many times you have practiced the games or even learned a few tricks, the casino, and by casino we mean the house, always has the advantage. Despite this, there are still some ways you can increase your chances of beating the house and coming out with full pockets. We will be revealing some of the best ones. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on, so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. Ready to make your evenings fun? Well, let's get right to it. Stay away from flashing lights. Casinos are structured to keep you as distracted as possible, and this adds to the chances of you losing game after game. One of the tricks is using a lot of flashing lights, which are made to trick your brain. If you look closely at the games that have the lowest payouts and the worst odds in the casino, they're the ones that usually have a lot of glitz and glam attached. So while you're paying more attention to the visual and audio cues gotten from really loud elements like flashing lights, you're in a dangerous zone. The slot machines are a good example of this. They're filled with sudden bell sounds and a lot of bright colors on the screen to catch your attention, but whatever is spinning on your screen is complete fiction. Whatever you get is actually determined by a computer chip with random number generators. But if you're faced with a more colorful display, if you want to beat the flashing lights, move away from craps or dice betting tables and check out the quiet blackjack tables instead. Here, you can maximize your returns. Up next is learn the nuts of poker. When it comes to going against the house, your best chance at reducing the house advantage by as much as 50% is through poker. However, only experts and seasoned players can do this, and you can become listed in this category through a lot of practice. The key is to know the hands that your opponent will likely hold and the chances of completing your hand. This is the part where you learn the nuts. The nuts is the strongest possible hand during a poker game. Knowing this and the ranking of hands from royal flush, which is 10 to ace in the same suit, will put you at a great advantage. To be a great poker player, you should be more aggressive than passive. With aggressive playing, you have a better chance because you can win either by having the best hand or raising your opponent out of the pot. With passive playing, you can only win with the best hand. Wouldn't you want all the advantages you can get? At least that will save you from ending up with empty pockets. Up next is go for smaller bets. If you are a bit familiar with the stock market, you will realize that it's always better to spread your investment across 5 different stocks than putting it all on one stock. It's a similar strategy when you're playing at tables. Split your bankroll into smaller bets, at least 20 with independent outcomes. If anyone tells you to go big or go broke, take it as the worst advice in the casino. When you lose your money faster, you'll see that you'll also be done with gambling faster. But if you want to spend quite a while in there, stretch out your bets into smaller ones. Also, bet more to win more is not always sound advice either. Whether you bet $1 or $100, your chances of winning or losing are pretty much the same. But you can still give yourself several chances to win when you bet $1. Making larger bets is just a way of multiplying your losses, not your wins. Sure, you may feel like you cheated yourself when you win about $300 from a $1 bet instead of $1,000 with a $5 bet. Still, think more about how you can make several more bets with your current bankroll. And that's if you don't win until the final one. More bets mean more chances at winning. Up next is don't assume that the house edge works in your favor. If you don't have any idea what a house edge is, here's a breakdown. Gambling experts usually talk about this as how much the casino would expect to earn from each game. The house edge is said to be about 1 to 10% of the wagers of all players. What this sounds like is that you have a 90% chance of keeping your money, and that you could bet on the house edge. In reality, many people lose on this. Playing against a low house edge doesn't mean that the next spin on the slot game will be a jackpot, or the roulette wheel will land on your lucky number. It has absolutely nothing to do with your individual bets. Instead, this applies more to plays over a long period of time. This could be as long as months or even years. But several experts advise gamblers to go for the lowest house edge. Why? This is because, based on the basic rules, you are less likely to lose your money. However, this depends on your ability to play wisely. If you don't know the right time to hit or surrender, you can lose all your precious cash at the blackjack table. And if you have to choose between a table that allows surrender and one that doesn't, the better choice is the one with the surrender rule. This will at least give you half your bet. The key here is to remember that the house edge will always work in the house's favor. Up next is pick the simpler bets. If you don't understand everything about a betting option, it's best to stick to the simpler bets. Sure, betting on the odds enhances your basic bets. However, you have a lower chance of doing well when there are more complicated betting rules. The casino makes these rules intentionally complicated to give the house an edge. And that wagering option, there will always be someone willing to try despite how low the chances of winning are. Don't let that person be you. You have a lower chance of winning when the promise of a paycheck is higher. Up next is, with roulette, play outside bets. Some people believe that in roulette, your number will come in if you wait long enough. That means you would wait quite a while and then get your money back. However, this is exclusive to those that are playing the game the wrong way. While you have the odds of 35 to 1 when placed on a single number bet, your chances of guessing a single number are not good. Casinos will prefer you have a lower chance of winning, and the odds should play less. It all has to do with the house edge. While you get more wins with inside bets compared to outside bets in roulette, the chances of you getting paid anything is much better with outside bets. Feel free to form your own opinions by trying out different positions and keeping your bets modest. However, over time, several players have found out that placing your outside bets is a much better deal when playing roulette, especially as it makes your money last longer. Another tip with roulette is that you have better odds when you play with the European table compared to the American table. In this case, you have to lean on the even odds, especially as the ladder with the double wheel will give a 5% house advantage on the American table compared to a 2.8% on the European table. On the roulette wheel, it's best not to bet on 0, 1, 2, 3, and double zero odds. Instead, place your chips on the even odds, and this will give you a better chance at winning. Up next is, always understand the rules. If you're playing without a good understanding of the house rules or game, you're already at a huge disadvantage. You may be wondering what happened when you spun the top playing combination during a slots game but didn't get the jackpot. The answer may be quite simple. You didn't play the maximum bet. Now, you would know this if you already knew everything there is to know about this game. Many progressive slot games need you to play the maximum bet to get the maximum payoff. Scan the pay table screen on your slot game before playing. This will ensure that you understand the rules. Look out for small words close to the side or bottom of the pay table's cabinet to understand what your limits are and how you should approach the game. Always read the fine print, as this plays a huge role in how you gamble in the casino. Up next is, avoid Keno. The best winning strategy at Keno is to simply avoid it. What do you think of the risk on a game that gives you 1 in 3.5 trillion odds of winning? That's about 18 zeros in there. This is such a huge gamble that your chances of winning at this game is practically next to nothing. So, the gambling technique here is to never play it. That's it. And there you have it. When trying to beat the house in any game, it's always best to go with a proven system and stick to it. However, these tips will help you get started on turning your luck around in casinos, especially if you have been on a losing streak. Do you know any other gambling techniques that would help you win? We would love to hear it. Let me know in the comments. And that's a wrap. Thanks for watching.